for the longest time, Survivor Series has been Raw versus SmackDown. That has been the theme under the Vince McMahon umbrella of Survivor Series. I would say ever since Survivor Series 2014, or was it longer than that?
Probably longer.
Because I can't. No, you know what? Honestly, it had to. No, because the last one I actually remember was Survivor Series 2013. Remember, that's when they had the two handicap matches: the CM Punk versus the Shield and Daniel Bryan versus the Wyatt family. In that Survivor Series.
I have no recollection of that.
Oh, I remember. I was like, because they had the two biggest factions going against the two biggest stars at that time, and I was just like, okay. And I think when it came to 2014 or 2015 is when we really nope, I'm lying, because 2014 is when Sting came, and that's when they had the Authority versus Team Cena.
Eric Rowan and
oh yeah, that shit was dumb. And then the 2015 is when they had that was the 25th year of the Undertaker in 2015. 2016 was the kind of like we gonna start doing Raw versus SmackDown shit. That's when they had the Lesnar and Goldberg stuff. So for all the times we've been doing Raw versus SmackDown, and there have been some decent Raw versus SmackDown shows. I thought 2017 was a good example of that. That was the Under Siege one, and that was the one with AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar, which was one of the best matches in Survivor Series. Then 2018 was him, Brock and Daniel Bryan. Then he had a Brock and Finn and a Brock and Mysterio. So Brock been doing pretty good, but it's been sucking ever since then. But now Triple H decided to bring in a concept called War Games, which has been part of the NXT thing for the past 5 years, because Vince said it was too WCW. Well, Triple H said,
they own WCW, so
exactly. So Triple H said, yo, fuck that. We gonna bring War Games to the main roster, and now we finally got it. There's no Raw versus SmackDown on the show. It's storyline based Survivor Series, and we're gonna see how they did. So automatically on the front, they had the old school Michael Cole and Corey Graves standing up by the cage and talking about the War Games, like the old WCW way, how they used to do it. You can tell Triple H is like really, really old school. Like he really, really enjoys this stuff. So coming into the concept of having War Games on the main roster, how excited were you, Brian?
Since I know Triple H had control, I was cool. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be alright. Didn't need to doubt it at all. Since if Triple H is in control, if Triple H wasn't in control, then I'd be like, oh no. But since he's in control, I was like, okay, cool. I know this will be alright then.
But I wasn't really worried about it being bad. I was just talking about this the fact that we finally got War Games on the main roster.
Oh yeah, that too.
Well, let's get on right into the show, because we kick off Survivor Series War Games with the Women's War Games match. That is Team Bianca, which is Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Mia Yim, what they call it now. I'm just like, even still, I'd rather go back to the Blazing Baddie, to be honest with you. And Becky Lynch taking on Team Damage Control, which is Damage Control, Bayley, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, with Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, the War Games match is 5 minutes to start. Every 3 minutes, somebody will come out, and the match cannot start until all members are inside the War Games matches. So, we start off with Bianca Belair and Dakota Kai. It is Dakota Kai, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Bianca Belair and Dakota Kai. So they start off the matchup. Bianca just basically outpower her for a little bit. Then the next one to come in, since Damage Control has the advantage, Io Sky comes in. So she's the next one in. She tries to, they come in, they do the double team to Bianca, the usual thing. Io tries to do like a springboard from one ring to the other. It doesn't look like it works the best. Like, she was kind of I don't want to say botching a lot, but there was a lot of botches in this matchup. Doesn't mean the matchup was bad. I'm just saying that there was a lot of botches in the matchup.
I
So
mean, it's still weird to do stuff that you used to do without a cage. Now a cage is there, so
we're not gonna sit here. We not. I'm not gonna make excuses for these women when Io Sky has been in these war games. Io, Dakota, Bianca, they've all been in the war games. But everybody on Damage Control except for Bailey hasn't been
oh,
this.
so so you playing one NFL game and you get set the next NFL game, and you know it's different. It's different.
No, that's a play by opposing team. I'm talking about botches, dude.
Okay, well yeah.
Yeah, that's an opposing player, you know. But next up, who comes out is Asuka to even up the odds between for Team Bianca. She's down there, and then Io Sky have a little face off, and the crowd kind of got behind on it. I mean, the pop could have been a little bit better, but you know the pop does get a little better later on. So they have their little exchange. Then Nikki Cross comes in. Crazy ass Nikki Cross. She's the first one to bring in weapons to the ring. She starts throwing in kendo sticks, trash can lids, and all that because she's crazy. This is what the hell she's doing. So she brings that stuff in, and then of course we start using the weapons and everything like that. Then next up for Bianca's team is Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss is running, and the cameraman catches her in the cable. And it's like she almost trips, but she gets in there, and then she comes in there and starts doing front drop kicks to everybody, like Dakota Kai and Nikki Cross when it come with the trash cans in their hand. Asuka gives Io Sky like a face buster onto the trash can, and now Nikki starts targeting Alexa. She tries to hit Bianca with a kendo stick, and Bianca just takes that shit and breaks the kendo stick, showing off her strength and stuff. As Nikki kind of, it's not like she kind of crazy looks at her, but she kind of runs into the corner, crawls up to the top, and I was like, "Are we really about to get this spot to Nikki Cross?"
Yep, because she's crazy.
Because she's fucking crazy, right? So we about to get this spot to Nikki Cross. She goes up to the top, and she dives off, and she does the dive spot. I was just like, "All right, well that's it." I know we was gonna get 2 more dive spots in the same match. Sorry, I drink something to clear my throat out. Next up is Mia Yim. And as she comes in, she tries to. She throws like in the trash cans. And wait, hold on. Wait. Sorry, Alexa Bliss came out. I missed somebody, didn't I? Bailey came out next, right? For her team.
I don't know. You was still on the Nikki Cross jumping
because
off.
as she jumped off because Alexa Bliss is already in the ring. So we have Alexa, Bianca. We have Alexa, Bianca, and Asuka that's in the match for her team. For Bailey's team, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Nikki Cross. So the next one after Alexa, it has to be Bailey. So because the last one to come out was Rhea. Oh, did Rhea come in before Bailey did? Shit, I can't. See, I wish I would be able to write this down. I can't remember. I didn't write the date. Bailey comes in next. So when Bailey comes in, she tries to trap Bianca. She brings in a table. She starts bringing in ladders and stuff like that. I was like, damn, they just bringing in all the shit. She tries to trap Bianca with a table in between the 2 rings. That's when Mia Yim comes in. Mia Yim starts throwing in trash cans, and like it's a lot, you know. But she couldn't get the trash can in the ring. She was a little pissed off about that. But then she finally gets into the ring, and then they go and start setting up tables. They do. Asuka does a lot of German suplexes to everybody. They have a little vertical suplex spot off the top of the rope. Like each woman has like another woman in the corner, and they kind of like all fall down and do like a vertical suplex off the top rope. Mia Yim does a cannonball to Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley comes out, and she does a cannonball to her in the corner with the trash can. The only one that's left is Becky Lynch. The crowd's really chant for Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch comes out, closes the gate, and our War Games can officially begin. So once again, chaotic type match. Becky Lynch comes in there, starts doing her moves, doing kicks with trash can to the face, along with trash cans. Io at one point goes up to the top rope and then goes to the top of the cage and does a moonsault on the top to Bianca and Becky Lynch down at the bottom. And it looked like Bianca kind of caught her kind of wrong on it. I thought she may have hurt herself. But then there was another point where Bayley was trying to do like a Hurricane Rana to Bianca. And like she tried to powerbomb her. She powerbombed around her head. I was just like, that kind of fucked her. I was like, that could end up being dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had a Becky and Bayley showdown. They kind of fought, but then Rhea Ripley comes in, and her and Becky have a showdown. She has to give her the riptide, which she does, which goes for the first pinfall of the matchup. But Asuka breaks that whole thing up. Then the next thing of note is Asuka gives the poison mist to Rhea Ripley, and then she gets spiked DDT. But then there's still a table up in the corner, and what happens is Becky starts to set up Rhea and Dakota.
Your favorite spot of the match?
Yeah. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, what the fuck about that happen? So, oh wait, no. First of all, before I even say that, I got to talk about this botched ass spot. Nikki Cross takes out some handcuffs. And she tries to handcuff Alexa Bliss to the top rope. But then Alexa Bliss ends up handcuffing Nikki Cross to herself. And when that happens, there's a trash can that's in the ring. And in that trash, the purpose is to give her like Nikki Cross an electric teardrop back onto the trash can. Well, Alexa Bliss overshoots it and she catches all of the trash can.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that was kind of stupid. Even Bianca Belair tried to do a tower or do it with 6 women, but then that's what Nikki Cross did with the chemistry they had right before. So, at the bottom of the ring, they had these 2 tables. It's Nikki Cross. It's Dakota Kai and Rhea Ripley. Becky Lynch goes to the top rope. What did I say? Didn't I say in the prediction, I hope Becky don't not jump off the top because she gets no air. So, what does she do? She climbs to the top. And then she performs what the Doink the Clown used to do, a whoopee cushion off the top. Not a leg drop, a whoopee cushion. She got no air off of it. Just falls right to the chest of both women and then pins Dakota Kai, wins the match.
She landed right on her chest, too.
Like, landed ass first right on her chest, like as he called it, whoopee cushion. It's like, she gets no air off this whatsoever. She just stopped doing the move. And then, for that team, they won the matchup. So I can clear my thought a little bit. Prime, tell me your thoughts on that match.
Okay, sorry. No,
That's
it was
the
cool.
hit, I ain't gonna lie.
You said what?
That's the hit. Let me clear my throat.
Yep. But no, I thought it was cool. Like, I really just, I kind of missed the first half of this match. I seen the second half. I was like, okay. But
that's why you wasn't talking much.
Yeah, but after I seen it, I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, this is just whatever. So I didn't really see a lot of the botches that a lot of people saying because I'm glad I kind of missed that. But it was cool. Like, from what I saw, it was a nice way to start the show.
I thought it was a good match. It wasn't a great match. It wasn't the best women's War Games match that we've ever seen because I've seen better. I think the one their first one that they had with Shayna and Bianca and Rhea and all up in there, and she had to retire to the chair. I think that was a pretty damn good one for the women.
Well, I think also the people in it make it like it was just kind of just like, all right, like you said, you get your 5 or I get my 5. But I think it kind of would have been better if it was already like, something different.
Well, I also think that one, the crowd helps play a lot to these matches, but also I'm a firm believer that Triple H started booking his way halfway through the year in SummerSlam. And then, so it's like whatever Vince had already planned, because, they booked this, or they supposed to, book this shit out months and years in advance. I want to see what Triple H does next year. I'm like, okay, he brought War Games here when obviously the plan was for Raw versus SmackDown this year. Because you see, it has the blue and red highlights in the thing. So
And they still could have low key did that too if they wanted to.
If they wanted to. But I don't think Triple H wanted to do that. But I think with a fully booked year from like WrestleMania to WrestleMania with Triple H, I think by next year he will have better War Games teams and better, more crazy storylines to go through. Because like I said, that main event was a great storyline. Going in next, we have AJ Styles with the OC taking on Finn Balor from Judgment Day. Finn Balor comes out with this like space mask on.
Yep.
First of all, I don't know if we should talk about it in the review or should we talk about it afterwards. What did you think about that Thanksgiving video between Dom and Rhea Ripley?
I thought it was funny.
I thought that thing was great. I was like, no matter what happens in the resources, I was like, you know what? They are finding a way to get Judgment Day over and get this whole storyline over for me. I was like, because that would make sense. Like, it's the holidays. Wouldn't you want your son to come and then he come here and bring Rhea Ripley to the joint? I'm like, oh, that's funny. That's great. I can't wait to see Christmas now. And then finally, when Ray's right, was like, yo, go kick his ass. Say what?
I still can't believe those two, though, but sure.
Oh, why you don't want him to call it Damian Priest?
No, what I'm saying, we're supposed to believe that they are together, that they're just friends or whatever.
Oh.
What are we supposed to believe here?
I see what you're saying now. Okay.
Yes.
So, we've seen these guys have great matches before. That's not in WWE, and also the WWE match, which was at TLC. So, they've had, good matches. So, bell rings, and we automatically get into the action, which, Finn Balor, AJ Styles, deliver on. It's a basic Finn Balor style AJ Styles match with Finn trying to get the advantage when it comes to the pin. Interference comes in where Dominic gets on. He grabs AJ's ankle off the apron. Well, that pisses off the OC, and then they start fighting. OC starts fighting Damian Priest and Dominic into the crowd, so that takes care of them. Meanwhile, back into the ring, we have AJ Styles, who does a move that I love all the time. He hits it. Is when he does like this backflip into a DDT.
Mm-hmm.
But this way he did to like a final cut, whatever the case may be. So he did that to Finn Balor. Finn Balor kicks out. Finn Balor goes and gives him like a what was that Cedric move that he used to do? He hit you in the shoulders and bring you down your knees.
The what?
Okay, you know what? Like when he's on the shoulders, Xavier Woods used to do it. He throws you over and brings you down on their knees.
Like he throws you over his head and brings you down.
He has you in a fireman's carry position, and they toss you over, and then and then you fall on his knees.
That's a gut buster.
Gut buster, okay. Yeah,
if we're talking about the same move, then I think it's
the gut buster. And then he gets him a Yushikaroshi?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, also with that as well. Now the crowd's starting to get into it, but now AJ Styles goes to the top rope, goes for a 450 splash, but rolls through. Finn hits the shotgun dropkick, then hits the coup de grace, but misses. And it kind of hurts his leg a little bit. And AJ goes between both the rings to hit a phenomenal forearm. I would have loved it if AJ went to the other ring and used that ring and then.
AJ's 45 years old, man. Come on.
I'm not saying go all the way over like the full length of two rings. I'm talking about.
No, you're talking about to the other side. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm saying he's 45 years old.
You know the AJ could have hit that.
At 45,
at 45, leaping. Oh, first of all, as far as high, and as far as he
could do it. He could go high, but I don't think he could go like far enough to go over the length of two rings, the little middle part, and also hit Finn Balor.
Obviously, Finn would have to be a little bit closer.
Yes. So I'm saying Finn would have to be like right at the first ring. The
No,
first.
for some look, even though AJ is older, I believe AJ can hit it. To be honest with you, I believe AJ can hit it.
It's like Brock. I think can Brock still hit that? You know what I'm saying?
that shoot star.
He's 45.
Yeah, okay, but Brock don't even attempt that no more. AJ still does the phenomenal forearm. Come on now. You compare apples to oranges.
Okay, well, can Kurt Angle still do the moonsault?
Well, he still do it. It's like his head be skimming the mat because we seen it with Baron Corbin. But so AJ wins, and
side note.
Yeah.
Just take a guess at what old time legend that I seen in wrestling yesterday.
Too Cold Scorpio.
Older.
Oh. Ricky Bobby.
Who?
Midnight Express.
No. Older maybe.
Older. Damn. Okay, let's go Barry Windham.
No, but you're in the area.
Okay.
I'll give you two more guesses. But I'll give you two more in the area. I said older. I mean old, very old, like 80s, 70s.
Oh, sure. Vern Grinehead dead. So Kevin Von Erich.
Is he still alive?
He the last living one.
It's Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Oh man, you're going back too far.
Mm-hmm.
You kept saying older.
He was in the 70s and 80s and 90s.
Yeah, but Ricky Dragon Steamboat, you ain't about represent from the 80s, man. I'm just saying because you gotta be going back to damn near you try to think of people from like little Thurs, the way you was talking.
Well, I mean, him and Flair was the same, years.
Dude, can you still hit the arm drag?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, hey, look. You already know who his opponent was.
Who was it? Jericho?
Same person that's been wrestling old people all this year.
Oh, Jay Lethal.
Yep. Of course it was Jay Lethal.
Of course it was Jay Lethal.
This man said, my character is to wrestle old people this whole year.
Next up, we have the worst match on the card.
And we can just skip it. Shotzi loses.
Okay. I do want to skip out, but we got to talk about some of these botches in the match, though.
Do we have to?
Yeah, bro, look. That DDT attempt on the apron, which was botched, was terrible. They tried to sell the whole one, like the one lucky punch for shots. I said, why the fuck are you doing that? And then there was a spot that she tries to dive over on the Ronda Rousey into the front row, and then it take a minute for that row to fucking go over.
Mm-hmm.
I said, get the fuck out of here. But however, yes, Shotzi loses. Like, we can't really skip past this matchup. But Ronda Rousey, as she does the Pirates Pit, about to put Shotzi in the armbar, she said something to the crowd, which I don't know if it gives a spoiler to what her next feud is, but she said, there is no democracy. There's only, she said, there's only one queen. I'm the queen. And I'm just like, oh, we doing Ronda and Charlotte again. I hope we don't do Ronda and Charlotte again. But that's what it was alluding to. So, yeah, that was the worst. And you're right. First of all, they didn't do anything to make me believe that Shotzi could win.
Not at all.
And I was like, I'm sorry when that fall on you, Triple H, because when it comes to creative, you got to make it feel like that, that she can win or something.
Yeah, not just because they win a 6-person match.
Yeah, I was like, this is a SmackDown Women's Championship match. Like, damn, is there anything? Like, I don't know what the plan is. Next up, triple threat match for the United States Championship. Seth Rollins versus Austin Theory versus Bobby Lashley. When it comes to wrestling, when it comes to wrestling now, I thought this was the best match on the card.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of it? Before we go into it.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. The finish was creative. Still don't get why one of the people lost, but I mean, we'll see what happens.
All right, so Seth was over in this match.
Yeah, of course. He's babyface Seth.
Yeah, and I mean, they're doing the chants and the oh, with his music and stuff. So when the match starts, Bobby just straight bullies the shit out of Austin Theory and knocks him out the ring. Starts jawing with Seth Rollins, and then after that, Austin trying to get back in the ring, and then Seth Rollins clotheslines him right back outside the ring. I was like, y'all not gonna be bitching Austin Theory all night. So them two started wrestling. Seth Rollins about to go for a springboard on Bobby Lashley, but that's when Austin Theory grabs Seth Rollins' leg and pulls him down. So, and now Austin Theory gets himself into the matchup. And now goes in there and baits Bobby into chasing him again to the ring. Starts beating down on Bobby Lashley. And goes his Seth Rollins with the steel steps. And then tries to do the same for Bobby. But Bobby comes back in, full head of steam, standing belly-to-belly suplex. Then he just does like one DDT and one flatliner, I guess, at the same time, and he's beating the shit out of both guys. It's a dominator to Seth Rollins, but then Austin Theory pulls his leg off of him just like he did with Seth Rollins when he tried to win a championship as well. They go to the outside. Seth Rollins goes and he hits the steel. He knocks Bobby to the steel steps. But then Austin Theory comes in there, and then he's just going crazy with the steel steps. When we get down in the ring, I'm going to go close to this part here. I thought this was very creative. First, Bobby hits the spine buster on Seth, and he tries to go for the hurt lock. Austin Theory goes for a sleeper, but he takes Austin Theory out. Seth hits a pedigree. Bobby kicks out. Then Bobby tries to go for a hurt lock on Austin Theory and Seth Rollins at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Now Seth pushes him back into the ring. I was like, that's kind of even to try that, to me is kind of impressive. Then Theory does a little roll through the ropes thing and like a blockbuster, but then tries to get an 8-count down on Bobby, but Bobby puts him in a hurt lock, and then Theory does the whole Bret Hart Survivor Series thing. Runs the ropes and knocks Bobby back. As soon as Bobby falls back and we get to the 2 count, Seth Rollins comes off the top rope and hits a frog splash on Bobby.
Yep.
That was great. I was like, that was a well-timed spot. Bobby kicks out of the frog splash. And then now Seth Rollins goes to Theory. And he goes for his, we see Seth do this all the time, his superplex / Falcon Zero. So there's a suplex to Austin Theory, goes for the Falcon Zero, but meanwhile, he goes and Bobby spears Seth Rollins, and in the spear, I know how it was supposed to happen, but it didn't happen that way. Seth falls down, and Theory falls on top of Seth. 1, 2, 3. Austin Theory wins the United States Championship.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like I said, other than that, I think that was probably the only. I don't want to say botch because you could tell by the way he was supposed to spear. He was supposed to kind of fall down on him. What I also didn't mention was both Theory and Bobby was down in the ring, and Seth Rollins used Theory to step up on his back to give a curb stomp to Bobby.
Mm-hmm. Okay, elevated.
Huh?
Kind of like an elevated curve.
Yeah, like elevated. I thought I would mention that spot. But yeah, Austin Theory is a new champion. Where does that go from here? I don't necessarily know. It could be a thing. Like I wonder if they now, since they got the money in the bank off of him, they gave him the United States Championship. I know they think about that being the top belt on Raw, but I don't think he's gonna be the top champion. I think this could be a door opening for them to split the championships off of Roman Reigns.
Maybe. Let's see what they do.
And have Roman, I don't know how they're going to do it. What's going to happen? We got to check out Raw and everything like that. But that's what I think could happen. Meanwhile, I wanted to wait to talk about this throughout the whole, instead of trying to go like piece and piece. I want to wait to talk about this as in the main event as a whole, because we're now at the main event, which is the men's War Games match, the Bloodline taking on the Brawling Brutes, Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens. Earlier in the show, Jey Uso says, "Look, I heard Sami and Kevin talking on SmackDown. Alright, I told you we ain't trust him since day one. And the only reason why I ain't take out Sami is because you ain't give the order. So what we gonna do about it?" And he says, "Well, we ain't gonna do nothing." He said, "It's my job to keep, everything in the bloodline. So, I'm gonna, talk to this man to man. We gonna see what Sami's head is at." He says, "Wise man, go call in Sami." So after the Shotzi match is when Sami comes, and then
and he said phone call Sami Zayn. I'm like, all right.
Sami comes in and he says, "Look, what's been going on? Why you lie, Jey Uso?" He says, "Look, because I know the way they say, this guy hates me, and I don't know how he's gonna handle it, and he's gonna be all kinds of stuff like that. But for instance, I didn't talk to Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens talked to me. He came to me. But he said, I'm loyal. I am here. Only 5 people get to come into your office. That's the Wise Man. That is Solo. That is the Usos. And that's me. I don't take that for granted." And he said, "So, I know you and Kevin been friends, but this is about my family. This is about blood. And I don't know if you can trust him." And he says, "Yeah, you can trust him." But he kept looking down a little bit, though. Then Roman gives him a hug. And then he was kind of smiling, but Sami couldn't see it, but his face turned serious. So we was like, we don't know where that's going to necessarily lead to. But this main event did some excellent storytelling. So Kevin Owens comes out. Now, at first, me and Prowse was like, why ain't got his shorts on? But he come to find out he was doing a tribute to Dusty Rhodes.
I don't care.
Oh my God, bro. You gonna be that guy?
I know that I have a problem with, like, Dusty Rhodes never wore skinny jeans.
They were skinny jeans. They were fitted. They were fitted.
They were fitted. They were not regular pants that Dusty was wearing.
God. Okay, well, even with that
can you even do a super kick in these pants, man?
He did. He had the tape. He had the bionic elbow. He had the Dusty shirt. I was like, okay, he gives the tribute to Dusty. I'm happy with that. But the starting off is going to be Butch, aka Pete Dunne, taking on main event Jey Uso. That's the ones that's going to start the match. And by the way, they all go, as Q-Flow said, they all blood tonight, so they had all the red. I
wonder why Roman couldn't just have all red. He probably just liked the black, I guess. But yeah, I'm like, bro, this would have been the only time you could have rocked all red.
Yo, that would have been cool if he came out there in some red pants, though. Wouldn't it, for something? Mm-hmm. But he said, "No, we ain't doing it."
What if they all went to old school Roman Reigns, where they all had the shield, but it's like the red Roman Reigns little chest protector?
I don't want.
But they all said like Bloodline or something.
No, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to.
That's like when Triple H and Kurt Angle dressed up as the Shield.
No, I'm just like, no. I'm just like,
it's like they a team.
Because that right there, it just brings you back to old school Roman. I'm just like, I need Tribal Chief all the way. Say that shit for Jimmy and Jay. So Pete Dunne is just his whole 5-minute time is doing the finger and hand manipulations to Jey Uso. I did not realize on SmackDown when somebody put in the comments that they won the advantage. So the Brawling Brutes, I was like, what the hell? Usually the heels win the advantage. But I figured out why they did it that way. So I was like, obviously. So yeah, I was like, okay, that makes sense. So, so after a while, after the 5 minutes is over, Ridge Holland comes in, and he comes in a full head of steam, and just starts ramming Jey Uso into the corner. doing run backs, and then they go high low. Him and Butch go high low on Jey Uso, and then they go work on the fingers some more. Meanwhile, you see inside the shark cages. It's funny. Roman Reigns is sitting in a chair. He's like, I'm not standing. I'm not gonna be out here standing for no 20 minutes. He said, "No, I won't bring a chair here. I won't sit in the chair." But what was funny though is the bell rings because Jimmy Uso is like, "Yo, let me go help my brother because he getting jumped right now." He's about to go out. Roman just grabs him, and then he just points at Sami like, "Go out there." And it's like team building exercise. Sami was just like, "All right, what the hell to do?" So Sami is next up and going in there. Then Jay starts helping out Sami. Sami knocks Rich Holland in the middle and starts doing like all these stomps on Ridge Holland, and then they are brawling back and forth. And then next up is they have a little scuff. They don't have scuff on the ring, but they kind of like argue in the ring, which gives Butch a chance to do a moonsault, and then Ridge Holland do like a double shoulder back toss to both of them. Now the timer goes out again. It's time for Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre comes into the ring. Head full of steam, starts launching Sami and Jimmy Uso belly to bellies across the ring. I love the Drew McIntyre belly to belly when he just like launches the shit out you.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And you be flying.
Especially if you get air to do it too, like Sami.
Oh yeah. Future shot DT to Sami Zayn and with the kip up. My thing is, how many times does Butch get tossed into this cage like through the middle row? Like I swear, this man must hit that cage 28 times last night.
Yeah, he was like Dakota got tossed into the cage a lot yesterday too. So.
I was just like, sheesh, I need some blood in here. Don't put it intended. Jimmy's out next, and Jimmy's like, "Nah, we doing this." He brings in a table. He starts bringing in some chairs.
He's tired too.
Say what?
So he was tired too.
Jimmy?
Yes, after he went out on 14, he was like, "Sheesh."
Oh yeah. You talking? I was about to say, like, I was talking time before he got in the match. I was like, yo, but yeah, all that shit, bringing that shit back. Sami had to come out there and help him. Yeah, he's like, whew, all right. Yeah, that's what you're talking about. So Sami set the table, but then Jimmy's just like, yo, man, go tell me and my brother got this. And then Jay pushes Sami. And everybody's like, oh, what the fuck going on? And then Sami pushes Jay, but they about to start fighting. And Jimmy got to break this whole thing up while Roman in the cage is like, all right, I better get this shit together before the time I get up in there. And then so they go and try to take care of business. They start throwing Drew McIntyre along the cages and Butch stuff like that. They go finally set up a table over in the corner in the second ring. So then next up is Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens comes out to the ring, and Kevin Owens he goes and he goes and starts pulling out chairs and things like that. He starts hitting everybody. He starts going in there, hitting everybody with the chairs. It's mostly Jimmy and Jay. He goes at the cannonball, but then and a swanton. But then he goes and it's a stare down with him and Sami Zayn. He's like, all right, you gonna hit him? But then Ray Chalk goes from behind and starts hitting Sami. I was like, okay, that's obviously going to be the tease all night. Is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn going to, interact? Meanwhile, before Solo comes in there, Kevin Owens just backdrop Jimmy Uso to a table, just like random. It's no build-up spot or nothing. He just randomly backdrops Jimmy Uso to a table, like, oh shit, there's a table here. Solo comes.
Like, dang, that's what y'all used the table spot for? Just this one little random spot?
Say what?
Not even. That's what y'all used. It wasn't even a pop-up powerbomb or nothing. It was just a random backdrop. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, I don't know, pop-up powerbomb or something from the top. It was just like, all right, let's do this. Solo and Kevin Owens sit each other down. They fight in between the two rings. Solo keeps eating these super kicks that Kevin Owens is giving him. Then gives him a shoulder back toss on the steel beam that's connecting both of the rings. Then Solo is out there with Drew McIntyre.
This is like my little one nitpick.
I'm listening.
Because we've seen how Solo been over the weeks, right? Like we know Solo's like a regular person.
Yeah.
He's like don't play games. But in this one spot, he was acting like Umaga.
It kind of did remind me like Umaga.
But like it was just that one spot because like the one spot he was like, yeah, and he kicked him and he knows something. He was like, yeah, like we know like a regular person. You know, act like Umaga because it was quote unquote the monster. He ain't talk, he ain't do none of that. So I'm like,
exactly.
You can't just go from I'm talking regular to then being Umaga. You know, so that was just my one little thing.
All right, Sam. Next up is Sheamus in the ring. Sheamus comes in, but then Sami tries to hold the door closed so Sheamus can get inside the ring. But then Sheamus just like throws the door back at Sami, comes into the ring, and then starts bringing heavy, wakes up the Brawling Bruce, and they start attacking everybody in the ring. Gives a white noise to Solo from the middle rope, which he kind of struggled a little bit, but he finally did give it to him. Then here it is, which the reason why they had the advantage, so Roman Reigns could come in last. So Roman is in the ring. He slowly walks in there, helps up his family, helps up his team.
Well, he helped up Jey Uso.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, he's staring them down, and then they Braun Bruce is in one ring, Bloodline's in the other ring. Do the whole stare down thing, and then now the brawling begins, and he giving out Superman punches, and then he goes for another one for Sheamus, but Sheamus catches it, and now all in between the middle of the ring, each member of the Brawling Brute has a member of the Bloodline, and they give him those chest beats that Sheamus does. Yeah, Sheamus and Ridge Holland went for like 20. Everybody
went for 25.
What did you say? What?
Sheamus did 25.
Okay, 25 went like Roman Reigns, but Ridge went for like 20. But everybody else went for like 10. I was like, all right, we done.
Mm-hmm. I was like, and then Drew randomly like just hit Roman at the end. I'm like, that was messed up. It was like 25, 26.
Yeah, 26. I was like, yeah. Because this is what we going to do. I liked... So, like I said, after that's happened, we keep on going, fighting in the matchup. Sheamus is about to call for the bro kick to Roman Reigns, but then Solo moves Roman out the way, and then he hits a bro kick on Solo Sikoa. Meanwhile, Sami Zayn is on Butch. And he's like, do you know who this is? Because he's trying to attack Roman Reigns. And then as he pulls him up, Jey Uso trying to go for a super kick on Butch. Butch gets out the way and Jey super kicks Sami Zayn. And I was just like, oh shit. So, but Jey like, yo man, screw him, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? They give Butch a 1D from the top rope, but then Ridge Holland breaks it up. And then Ridge Holland gets double super kicked, and then gets speared through the tail by Roman Reigns. So now Ridge Holland is out. So now we're down to Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns, but Solo Sikoa comes in and gives him the half solo. Do a table. I think they set up in the ring. I missed when they set that table up. So Drew McIntyre is out. Now Solo gets a stunner, and then Roman pulls Kevin Owens off Solo. So now we're getting that rivalry. What year was it? 2018 it was, or 2020 when it was Kevin Owens and Roman rivalry.
And he said 2021 or 2020.
Yeah, he said so. I ain't forget. So he goes. And him and Roman have an exchange. He blocks Superman punch. Hits Roman with a pop-up powerbomb. Beautiful. And then hits Roman with a stunner.
No stunner. It should just be the pop-up powerbomb.
I'm saying, but he did hit the stunner.
I know what I'm saying. He should not. She should not. I'm like, they do powerbombs, Sylvester. Why not just let him do the package power driver?
Oh, they're not even. Even with Vince going, they're not gonna let him do the. You know, they're not gonna let him do the package
So,
power driver.
but everybody can do a Canadian Destroyer, but he can't do a package power driver.
I, probably, I don't know the answer to that.
See, exactly. I'm like Kevin Owens. That used to be his finisher. He used to do it, and now he got to reduce to a stunt. I'm just like, okay. The stunner just don't feel like Kevin Owens. Like the power bomb or the package power driver, but the stunner just don't work for me. Still,
it don't feel. Yeah, I can understand that sentiment. As referees going for the count, Sami Zayn stops referee from counting, and then he just staring at Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens is like, "Really? That's what you're going to do? He do the stare down?" He's like, "Yo, come on, man. Why would you do that?" And then so he goes. Everybody pick up Roman. Jimmy goes for a super kick, but Kevin Owens catches it, and then Sami Zayn low blows Kevin Owens, and he looks like, "Oh man, I just hit my best friend." And then he's over in the corner, and then Sammy's just like, "We already here. Let's do it." Gives him a haluva kick to Kevin Owens in the corner, and he just catches his limp body, right there on his chest, and then he throws him down to the ground. And then Jey Uso does the Uso splash and pins Kevin Owens. And the Bloodline win the matchup.
Bloodline win, but I was still like, dang, they didn't even give Roman a pin. Even I guess it was a good storyline thing, but I thought Roman would have been standing there, and Roman would have been the one to get the pin. He would have offered him up to Roman.
But Roman stands there, and he goes over, and he hugs Sami Zayn, and he hugs him, and the crowd pops for that and like that. But then the crowd pops big when Jey Uso gives a congratulatory and he hugs him and then he picks him up and everything. So now it's just like, yo, that got like the biggest pop of the night. Dude, I mean, this whole thing is over, bro. This whole thing is over because even when there was a part in the matchup where something's about to happen to Jey Uso, and then even though after he got super kicked, Sami pulled Jey Uso out the way. So he's trying to prove that, look, I'm here for it. This is one of the best things going in wrestling today with this whole Bloodline storyline.
Yep, but I will say though, there was a point where like Roman wasn't in the middle, Sami was in the middle, and Roman was like, "I'm giving him a look," and I'm like, that could be something that they use. We'll see.
It's now like I don't like Sami's getting like he's mega over with this right now with his Bloodline. So it's the whole thing. Like I said, I don't know if they're going to try to split the championships, and because as of right now, first of all, I thought the match was the match was great. Kind of great storytelling because you need all that, but it was great storytelling. The idea of Cody coming back and beating Roman, it seemed like that storyline fire kind of had died off a little bit because Cody hasn't been here, and this has been the hot new story. And because I think the original plan is to have Sami go after them tag team championships with Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a thing where he is so fucking over.
Look. There's been a thing with people being very over, and then people giving what they want. They wasn't happy. Remember, Otis was over, then they gave him the Money in the Bank.
Okay, no, that was okay. Just because Otis was over, come on, Brian. Once again, you already know because Otis was over does not mean that the Money in the Bank should have been the thing. Like when Daniel Bryan was over, like okay, let's crown Daniel Bryan. We've seen Sami Zayn be a mega face in NXT before, and
yes, I just this Sami. I'm like he's not that Sami to where I don't take him seriously. This man came in the room and did the running man on top of Ridge Holland. I'm like, this the guy that's about to defeat Roman's 1,000-day reign or whatever. This guy.
He said he did the running man on top of Ridge.
He did.
That's real shit though.
I'm like, now if he was like now, if something happens and he gets more serious in the storyline and it causes him to get more serious, then yes. But right now he's over, yes, but I don't see him doing anything about it.
I'm sorry, that was pretty proud. Like I said, so I don't necessarily know, but right now I'm interested in it because right now I still believe that the plan for WrestleMania is Owens and Zayn versus the Usos for the tag team championship,
Yeah.
and that will be because first of all, each it seems like each man match that they're trying to do is like, hey man, this is gonna be like a storyline driven WrestleMania where it's not like shit was just built up with the past 2 or 3 weeks because I got to the conclusion of this thing, man. This thing is like the hottest thing going right now, and especially because like now, what this thing did was for the last two matches of the card, when it came to Austin Theory and it came to the Bloodline. Now I gotta see. Now I gotta see Raw and SmackDown. You know what I'm saying? After all the first part stuff, like Becky coming back, like after that, AJ and Shotzi, I don't need to see the shows. But for when Austin Theory and to see what happened with the Bloodline and Sami, I gotta see Raw and SmackDown. That's how it made me feel, and I think that's a good thing. So Survivor Series gets a thumbs up. War Games for me for it being the first one. How about you?
Yeah, I give it a thumbs up. It was alright. The two matches did what they needed to do to deliver. So I get them that.
Now, do you think that if it's properly booked, we do a Raw versus SmackDown War Games?
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, some also got to be on the line also.
Oh yeah, something. I
Yeah.
don't know what it will be, but I'm saying like I can easily see them being like, we're the best brand. Even like we're the best brand. Not we're the best. Like they started themselves or
Yeah.
something. Like not just because it's Survivor Series where we just do brand to brand and we just in a team. Like you can even have like be a month before, but like since I'm wrestling on the best brand, I'm gonna bring the best action, and then he just keeps saying it to whoever, and then somebody from the other brand come up like, well, no, you ain't the best because we the best. Or something
I mean, but
to where it makes it feel like the wrestlers themselves are doing it, not just putting it together just because it's that time of year.
yeah, that's it. Like I said, so hope. Like I don't know. Like if you, long as you do something with the Raw versus SmackDown way of doing things, I'm cool with it. I don't mind seeing a Raw versus SmackDown War Games opposed to seeing a Raw versus SmackDown 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. I'd rather see
Mm-hmm.
the War Games match.
Yep.
I'd rather see the Raw versus SmackDown because it'll give them, you know, something. But Trish will figure that out because now he has a year to think about it, and he has a year to book his way going up into the next year, so the 2023 Survivor Series, and hopefully,
Mm-hmm.
I honestly I want him to bring back because I really think Triple H wants to bring back the Classic Five. He's an old school guy, and I think the Classic Five, not Temptations, but the Classic Five pay-per-views that they had from Rumble, Mania, King of the Ring, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series was a great cap off, for the shows. That album where all your best booking and all your best stuff goes. And me personally, I'm all fan of making Survivor Series War Games, making it, back to one of the big four and getting rid of Money in the Bank, all the way.
Okay.
You have no quarrel with me with that. So, yeah, you give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up as
I
well.
give it a thumbs up. Yeah.
I mean, mine is Shotzi and Ronda, obviously.
No, I mean it was alright. Like the show was okay. What I'm saying, like it wasn't nothing like monumental in my opinion. So like it was just a regular show, which is
Okay,
cool.
we'll just go ahead. But it obviously it wasn't on the level of SummerSlam or Mania or something like that. Which I do, like I said, I do think once you got to start somewhere, and you got to see Survivor Series has been down for a long time.
They said this is the best drawing Survivor Series in the 35-year history.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just bet. If you think about in my personal opinion, the last great Survivor Series from top to bottom show wise was
Yeah, but
2003.
I'm talking about even before the show was over, they already knew like, all right, this is the money we got from the show, and this is the ratings we got from it and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's been like one of the better Survivor Series in a long time. The top to bottom card. So, and like I said, that really helps with the whole the War Games aspect of it. So pretty soon, if they like War Games is coming next year, and we got an actual faction thing that we can really build off this thing, then yeah, they can help sell tickets. You can put that shit back in the stadium. But it'll be hard.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be hard to do a stadium in November, though. I do understand that.